Assalamualaikum students. Today we are going to start with the second part of chapter 8, static electricity. There are few experiments about generation of electric charge. First, balloon rub onto hair. So observation, balloon is attracted to hair. Explanation, transfers electrons from balloon onto hair, causing the negatively charged hair to become attracted to the positively charged balloon. Second, charged rod placed near to water. Water is attracted to the rod. The cloth transfers electrons onto rod. The negatively charged rod attracts the water. And the third, charged rod placed near to paper. Paper is attracted to the rod. The cloth transfers electrons onto the rod. The negatively charged rod attracts the paper. Now here one more activity about effect of electric charge. When an uncharged aluminium ball is brought near a negatively charged balloon, the following things happen. In A, as shown in figure A, an opposite charge is generated in the other objects by induction and both the objects get attracted to each other. Second, as shown in figure B, on touching, both the objects become similarly charged. And third, as seen in figure C, the like charges repel each other. Now we will learn about the gold leaf electroscope. This is a simple device to detect the electric charge on an object. It consists of a copper or a brass rod which has a metal disc at the upper end and two thin gold leaves at the other. The rod is placed in a bottle so that the disc is above the bottle. The tin foil inside and the wooden base makes the electroscope more effective. Now the uses of the gold leaf electroscope: to detect and measure the charge on a body. The body to be tested is touched to the brass disc of an uncharged electroscope. The amount of divergence of the leaves is a measure of the amount of charge on the body. For this, it is first necessary to charge the electroscope positively or negatively. This is done by touching the brass disc of the electroscope with the positively or negatively charged body. The leaves acquire the same charge as on the charged body and diverge. Let us assume that the electroscope is negatively charged. Now bring the body to be tested close to the brass disc of the electroscope. Here the object has the same charge as the electroscope. If the divergence of the leaves increases, it has the same charge as the electroscope, that is negative in this case. Okay. And if the divergence of the leaves decreases, it has the opposite charge as on the electroscope, that is positive charge in this case, in the second figure. Okay. Now we will learn about atmospheric electric charge and lightning. We have experienced clouds, thunder and lightning. Sometimes we hear or read that lightning struck a tree or a building and some people or animals were killed. How does this happen? Where air and clouds rub against each other in the sky, the upper part of some clouds on the upper side becomes positively charged and the lower sides become negatively charged. The science behind lightning and a lightning strike is complicated. Let us therefore consider a cloud in the sky with a negatively charged base above a plain ground. When this negative charge on the bottom of the cloud becomes much larger than the charge on the ground, it starts flowing towards the ground in stages. This happens very fast, in much less than a second, and heat, light and sound energy are produced along with the electric current. Then a lightning strike. You probably know that when there are electrically charged clouds in the sky, electricity is attracted towards a tall building or tree. When lightning strikes, an opposite electric charge is generated on the roof of a building or on the top of a tree by induction. Due to the attraction between the opposite charges on the cloud and the building, the charge on the cloud flows towards the building. This is called a lightning strike. So, what about the lightning in conductor? The lightning conductor is a device used for protection from a lightning strike. It consists of a long copper strip with one end forked. This end is at the highest part of the building. The other end of the strip is connected to a plate of cast iron. A pit is dug in the ground, coal and salt are filled into the pit, and the iron plate is placed upright in the pit. There is also a provision for pouring water into it. This helps to spread the electric charge quickly into the ground and prevent damage. So, whenever an electrically charged cloud passes over the building, the electric charges flowing towards the building are conducted into the ground through the copper strips, and damage to the building is prevented. When such a lightning conductor earthing is fixed on a tall building, the surrounding area is also protected from lightning. Now, what measures will you take to prevent the damage caused by lightning? First, don't go out in thunderstorms. Take shelter under small trees if you are in forest. Unplug all electrical instruments and stay away from electric wire, telephone wires, etc. Now let's summarize, students, what we have learned. The process of electric discharge between clouds and the earth or between different clouds causes lightning. Lightning strike could destroy life and property. Lightning conductors can protect buildings from the effect of lightning. Now, students, here we complete our chapter. Thank you for watching the video.